Nervous. Ismail Salam beats Boxing Mayhem here with Undefeated Kid Austin fighting tomorrow night on Underground Showdown. How you doing so far? I mean, the weigh-in's complete. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Just getting ready to hydrate back up, eat good and rest up and put on a show tomorrow.
This is your second fight in Atlanta. I wanted to get your opinion on what you feel about the Atlanta market because you're fighting a week before Tank comes down here and fights next week. So Atlanta's kind of popping now for boxing. How do you feel that you can fit in to the boxing scene, being that you're a younger guy and you're still on the come up?
It's good because Atlanta's my home. This is where I grew up. So it's no different. I was fighting in the amateurs from out of Atlanta. So it's just a great feeling and, being able to, put on a show for all my family and friends and everybody that I know from here. So it's a great feeling.
Gotcha. Now, one of the advantages I think you have is that you sparred a lot of the top champions right now. You sparred with Shakur, Devin Haney, you've seen Tank in the ring. So I wanted to find out of all those guys, and Adrian Broner want to include him too, who do you feel you've learned the most from that you can incorporate into your style as a fighter?
I can't really pick one because, each one of them have their own thing that they do good. Like Adrian Broner, he puts on this persona, but he's a very hard worker. So he teaches me to work hard. Devin Haney, young, has a lot of money, but stays dedicated like he's broke. Shakur Stevenson just has a high boxing IQ. He can just teach you stuff just by getting beat up by him. So Shakur Stevenson and, Robert Easter, he can teach you how to fight guys with longer reaches and, he's just a motivating guy to have around you. So there's a lot of different things that these champions do that I can pick up from.
Gotcha. Now, I've noticed that you're a student of the sport. I know you talk about you've watched some of Floyd's old fights and everything. Who do you like to watch the most out of the older fighters?
The most? Henry Armstrong. My dad makes me watch a lot of Henry Armstrong.
Wow, okay.
And I wasn't big on him until like a month ago. So I definitely watch more Henry Armstrong fights than probably Mayweather fights so far in just a month period.
Wow. And it's funny you mentioned that because you've gotten some body shot KOs and Armstrong likes to go inside, so that's a perfect model for you.
Yes.
Got it. So I also wanted to ask you mentioned Shakur. You probably noticed on social media he got a lot of criticism for his last fight. People said he was too defensive. What do you feel about that? Do you think that's a legitimate criticism, or do you think fans need to be more open to, defensive fighters?
See, the thing is, I don't know. That's like, you need defense. If you don't have defense, that can end very badly. You can end up in a hospital, wheelchair, Playing it safe is not bad. That's just that type of style of fighting. And if you don't like it, so be it. It's just that he wants to make it out that ring safe to see his family again. So you can't knock him at the end of the day. But I mean, you're going to get some fans that, want to see just banging, no defense, just like Mexican brawling. And, you get other natural boxing fans who want to see that high boxing IQ. So with me, I'm kind of neutral because, like, at the same time, you don't want to lose those fans. Because, everybody wants to see knockouts. But then you also want to play it safe because, one punch from anybody, could put you in a very bad situation. So I'm not knocking the man for doing his job. He did his job, got his check, and on to the next.
Gotcha. So in that vein, I wanted to ask you, I know you and Devin Haney been going back and forth. Is that more of a playful thing or is it kind of serious, as far as the offers and everything? It's hard to tell whether you guys are just kind of joking around or whether there's real issues there.
No, it's just we're joking around now. Just pushing it. But before, it's something serious. His dad called me out on some BS, and it was wrong with him. But at the end of the day, he's a world champion. Can't knock him. He's supporting his family. Like I always said, he's top, like one of my favorite top fighters. And at the end of the day, if I see him in the future, so be it. If not, so be it.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned before, you've gotten to see all these guys sparring wise. So you got Teofimo, you got Tank, you got Shakur, you got Haney. So everybody's kind of waiting for them to fight each other. Just from what you've seen, who do you think is going to have the best career out of all those fighters based on their styles?
Teofimo based on style-wise, because Teofimo and Tank, because their styles are more, amusing to the fans. The fans want to see that type of fighting. So I feel like that they're not the best boxers though. The best boxers, the best defensive fighters, but they're fighting. Like they fight everybody. So
right.
I think it's gonna be them.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm a little older than you, but I know that you mentioned that you like video games. So the games I've been playing lately, have been Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. I wanted to kind of get an idea of what you like to play on your downtime.
All I play, like, I'm serious. When I say all I play, this is all I play. It's either Modern Warfare, the new one, of course.
Okay.
Which is Warzone. I play Warzone a lot. 2K, especially when I'm with my brothers in them.
Gotcha.
2K, Madden, and Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, okay. Do you think it's time for a new one? We've been stuck on waiting to see if they're going to put the 6th one out.
I modded mine, so it's like I got GTA 6.
Oh, you did? Got you. You already got it.
No, I already got mine.
Got you.
But I'll play like some UFC here and there or Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Now, there's supposed to be a new boxing game coming out called Esports Boxing Club.
I see it.
So they got all these fighters. They may be calling you soon because they need the motion capture. I think they got over like 200 fighters so far.
It wouldn't hurt to add me in there.
I'll try and put the word
I'll
out.
be a sparring partner.
Got you. Now, my last question is, we saw a younger fighter in Ryan Garcia. He had to take some time off because of mental health and things like that. What are you doing as a young guy just to make sure your mental health is straight, even though you're moving so far in your career at a young age?
Just staying around the people I love. I mean, what could go wrong when everybody's happy around you? You're just a genuinely happy person, and you don't have any bad energy around you. So I just try to keep my circle small, and the people that's in my circle motivate me to do better. And also, are always here for me. Because you see my bodyguard brothers, they were in the sauna with me today, sweating out pounds. Shoot, he lost like 15 pounds in the sauna.
Wow.
So the people I have around me, I know that they're really down for me, and that just keeps me focused and motivated, and it shows that they really love and care for me. So that's what keeps me happy.
All right, so looking forward to seeing you fighting tomorrow, Underground Showdown. Any last words for the fans?
Let me see. I love y'all, because you never know who needs to hear that. And I'm going to put on the show for y'all tomorrow. And much respect to my opponent. Hope he makes it out safe. But tomorrow, I'm going for a knockout.
Appreciate your time, man. Thanks a lot.
No problem.